We're on the NBA on ESPN's Google Plus page, hanging out with Henry Abbott, J.A. Adande, Coach David Thorpe, and Ethan Sherwood Strauss. The topic, Jeremy Lin. You were one of the first people to be like super shocked because you had watched him play and watched him not play well.
Yeah.
What's your impression on what happened last year?
He stunk. I mean, it's funny that people have this narrative of, oh my, how did everybody miss on him? How did everybody miss on this guy? And the thing is that it wasn't like he was this gleaming talent that nobody dared look at. I think that he really improved his game, and that's the real story here, more than it is that, he was just great and the Warriors ignored it. I think another story, though, is that teams in a win-now mindset, or in the case of the Warriors, win now, sort of, kind of, they sometimes don't develop their rookies, and Lin could have perhaps developed his game had Key Smart not been so close with AC Law for whatever reason. They had a very tight relationship where they were text messaging all the time, for what that's worth. And so AC Law got a lot of minutes, and Key Smart didn't want to take a risk on Jeremy Lin, who played somewhat recklessly, sort of like Anthony Randolph as a point guard. And because of that, perhaps we never got to find out how good this guy could have been.
Mike D'Antoni said the thing that he didn't realize about him until he actually saw him in action is the way he sees the court. And that's a difficult thing to measure. You can't bring somebody in for a one-on-one workout and see their court vision. But now that he sees Jeremy Lin in his offense and sees the way he can see where the defenders are, he can kind of anticipate where the open man is going to be, where the right spots to be. So that's an intangible. Again, it's another kind of immeasurable thing that Jeremy Lin possesses, and that's what's enabled him. That's one of the reasons he's come as a surprise, because there's no tangible way to really determine how good a guy's court vision is.
Yeah, and especially, David talked about the system that they have there. The Warriors essentially didn't run pick and roll last year. So if you were measuring Jeremy Lin's court vision, then what was there to measure? Like, nothing's shifting around him on the court, as ridiculous and crazy as that sounds. I might not have been the biggest fan of Key Smart as a coach. I think I might be betraying that opinion right now. So it's like, how do we even know what his capability is if there's no way to even test it when he's out there?
Well, and D'Antoni's system, gives the point guard really obvious passing options, too. Like, you come over the pick and roll, and there's a guy standing in the corner, and there's a guy standing on the wing, and you just look at one of those defenders, and you make the right decision. And
that's everyone's system.
I think Lin has... Sorry, go ahead, David.
Guys, that's everyone's system. If you have to employ the pick and roll, obviously Key Smart didn't. With Lin's talent, though, is the angles he takes at the pick and roll and his change of speed at the right time in the pick and roll. All the good teams have great spacing and all of that. It's nice when you have guys that kind of shoot that. What D'Antoni gives is Lin the freedom to do whatever. Look up the stats. In New York, nobody was shooting 18, 19, 20, 24 times a game except the big two. D'Antoni's allowing Jeremy to just go play. He's enough of a threat as a scorer, and that creates pass angles for the other guys, which hopefully won't stop once Amari and Melo come back. But then Tony gave Lin the green light to just go play, and then Lin's talent is using those pick and rolls. He'd been better at Golden State if they employed pick and rolls. I don't know why they didn't.
That's a great point, David. Well, how many end of the bench guys get the license to shoot 20 to 23 times? That's one thing that the superstars enjoy. Like Kobe Bryant started like 1 for 10 last night. But you get to keep shooting when you have that status. Normally that's reserved for the Kobe and LeBrons of the world, but Jeremy Lin has been granted that status. And how many other players who sit on the end of the bench, if you gave them that opportunity, if you gave them the license to shoot 20 times, shoot their way out of slumps, how many others would be able to produce something like what Jeremy Lin is doing?
Or have 7 turnovers and a half or whatever.
Exactly.
This is my favorite thing about Jeremy Lin, to be honest, is like in his career, in his life, and in every game, he makes huge mistakes. There's bad news all the time. Turnovers, misses, free throws. Like, lots of things don't go well, but this is what I like, is a lot of people measure how they're doing in life by the outcome, but not Jeremy. He's got his approach, he's got his system, and he's running that whether he just missed, if he just got a turnover or not. He's going 100%, all out, and he's going to perform to the best of his abilities, right? And if it means another miss, it means another miss. But I love that's what we can take from Jeremy Lin in our own lives, is just do the best you can do. Forget that you missed a free throw last time. Just go, 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 go. And he's doing that.